Some adults may be offended by the content. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Mr. Matthew Good.
As you know, there's a federal election coming up in Canada, and Much Music has brought me in as their celebrity ringer to talk about Western voter apathy. Historically, Westerners haven't really been too fond of federal elections, and so I decided to do some digging and find out why. Let's take a look at something right here. From the Manitoba-Ontario border east, there are 210 seats in the House of Parliament. Thank you, Zach. From the Manitoba-Ontario border west, there are 88 seats. Second is a picture I drew of the Sasquatch and a Viking ship. All right? And if you're unlucky enough to live in the Yukon, you have one. Northwest Territories have one, and Nunavut have one, which of course is basically sweet FA. Once the vote reaches Manitoba, depending on, what parties are in favor, it's usually over. You return from the polls and it's already been decided. You've just cast your vote. There's no way they could have counted it by then. For a lot of years, a lot of people in Western Canada have basically just abstained from becoming politically active or active in the political process because they didn't really think that their voice, mattered all that much.
One of the things we've also tried to do is to change the system from within, and that's entailed starting political parties of our own in the West.
The first was, of course, the CCF, which is the NDP. And if you've been to British Columbia lately and you have any spare cash floating around, you might want to buy a couple FAX ferries off us. The second, of course, is Reform, which is now Canadian Alliance, which is run by a man named Stockwell Day.
On one hand, he doesn't want the country to be run by the good brothers.
Stockwell Day, of course, believes the world was created in 7 days, and possibly there being a half day on the 8th day just for Epcot Center, and no, it's very fun. Stockwell Day also believes that the Earth is only 6,000 years old, and the man coexisted with the dinosaur. Now, this is the kind of man I definitely want representing me at state dinners all over the world. He also believes that kids can be raised so they don't turn out gay. My dad always contended that kids can be raised so they don't turn out to be pretentious, right-wing religious assholes, but that's just Dad. Stockwell Gay. Did I just call him Stockwell Gay? That's just a f***ing slip of the lip right there.
I just don't understand how people actually believe this idiot. Then again, I'm lying on a couch speaking to a clan megaphone, so I wouldn't want to believe anything else either.
Being someone who grew up in Vancouver, among my generation especially, it's something that's you just kind of look at and go, what's the point? Just because you're voting in Western Canada and you feel your vote doesn't count doesn't mean you shouldn't. You should just know that, chances are that it won't. Maybe we should take a look at some other options on how to go about it. Party members are made to vote, for what the party wants, and a prime minister represents that. I'd be much more comfortable voting for a person. You know what I mean? Listening to what a person has to say about this country and how to run it and how they, plan to represent it to the world. And I'd rather vote for that. I'd rather vote for somebody's ideals than a party's ideals. All right, so that's it. I've got to play with flow charts, which is something I really don't get to do in my job, and I was very excited about. It's actually the only reason I agreed to do this. So that's pretty much it.